Hello, we are presenting on the ability of ashwagandha to prevent anxiety in C. elegans worms.
So our hypothesis is that the pretreatment of ashwagandha will decrease the biological and physiological stress markers more than the post-treatment of C. elegans, and we will also be doing this in comparison to Prozac. So for the first specific aim, we'll be focusing on the physiological stress responses in C. elegans with ashwagandha, Prozac, and with nothing for a control group. And then for the second specific aim, we'll be focusing on the biological stress markers, and again, be using no treatment, ashwagandha, and Prozac. And both of these aims will be looking at pre versus post treatment with different assays.
So the first specific aim, we are going to be doing two different assays, an octanol avoidance assay and an egg count assay. For the octanol avoidance assay, we will be having C. elegans. We're going to have 6 groups that are pre versus post treated with ashwagandha, and then pre versus post treated with Prozac, as well as having a negative control group that is treated with nothing. Each of these groups, the pre and the negative control, will be starved for 24 hours and then move to a new agar plate with split into quadrants, and will be introduced with octanol, and we will be timing to see how long it takes for them to move away. And then the post-treatment will be starved with a agar plate that has ashwagandha and or Prozac in the agar to give them a treatment with starvation to see if it affects their anxiety levels. And then we're doing an egg count assay, which is we are going to be see how ashwagandha affects their egg count. And we're starving them and then seeing if the treatment of ashwagandha, Prozac, or nothing affects any of their normal egg count laying. And then for specific aim 2, we're doing a serotonin assay, which we will also be starving the worms in pre versus post treatment, like all of the other assays, and then measuring their serotonin levels with an ELISA kit. And then for reactive oxygen species, we are going to be starving them as well. And then we will be introducing a fluorescence aspect and then taking them on an image day to come up with quantitative data.
So where we are currently is we are working through the octanol avoidance assay, and the groups down the left side of the screen are the 6 groups that we'll be using for each of the 4 assays that have already been described. The image of the circle with the quadrants is how we will be doing the octanol avoidance assay. The black line represents the paintbrush hair we are using to put octanol on, and then we will put it in front of the worm, which is the squiggly line. And we will then start a timer as soon as the octanol is laid in front of them, and stop it as soon as they start to move away. So the table shows our current results, and the group numbers coordinate to the groups along the left side of the screen again. And we have run into a few issues that we are currently in the process of addressing to make sure that we can get as accurate of data as possible. And we will most likely be repeating the groups we already have data for once we nail down our techniques. And then we will go from there and continue on with our other 3 assays.
Thank you.